Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our little Star Citizen podcast. I am Logic, and this is Obsessites.
Hello.
And we will be going over everything that's happened this week. We're sort of amping up and doing weekly for the moment, and while Burn Down is occurring, just so that you guys can get more information quicker. Although there are plenty of other sources to get the information, but we're just going to be discussing it and talking about
Yeah, yeah.
the other things.
We're also a bit funnier than some of the other guys. We're a bit straight.
Are we funny? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It
We'd
could
be
be.
biased if we said yes or no, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would. It'd be ridiculous. Just like, yes, I'm very humble. I'm hysterical.
Yeah, hilarious.
Oh dear. So no Chris this week, would it appear?
No, he's probably, you know, dealing with the
Gamescom.
Gamescom, which is very soon.
Yeah, and apparently it's going to be the biggest reveal ever, and I'm like, really? Biggest
Yeah,
reveal ever?
there was nothing in the ATV that was prompting that. Although we did find out that there's going to be another concept sale, but we'll get to that when we've got to the end of what we need to talk about.
Yeah, but I mean, but one of the guys on said the Gamescom is going to be the biggest reveal ever, which I'm like,
Yeah, it could be marketing bullshit.
yeah, it's like biggest
See?
reveal ever. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be bigger than procedural planet landing. I mean, unless they do like cities, like procedural cities. I mean, I could see that being bigger, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, at the end of the day, I'm excited to see what it is. So hopefully, they deliver on the hype.
Yeah, well, they've sort of semi-hyped it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was information. So they're not progressing particularly quick, but well, like on number of bugs. But they're basically what's happening right now is they're going through. They completed like 12 blocker or 20 blockers, I think it was some ridiculous number, and then they found because they've progressed further into the testing, they found more blockers. So it's basically 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards sort of thing at the moment.
Yeah, I think they said they had killed off 54 issues and found another 46.
Yeah. Well,
But that's the way it happens. I mean, this
does.
stuff they're mashing together is so different, and because they've obviously been developing a lot of it in isolation from each other, when they mesh it together, they're bound to find problems.
Oh, my camera's acted a bit strange. Okay, so yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, the coding is a bit of a pain because you fix one thing and something else breaks. So that's just the way it works.
Yeah. Some of these guys look really tired, though, don't they?
They
They're
do look
obviously
really tired,
working silly hours.
and they've moved the development branch over to 3.0 now. So, which just means there's a lot more resources working on it. So that's good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, hopefully we'll see progress in the burn down the week after next. Of course, there's no ATV this week with Gamescom, so you may have to do without us for a
I don't know.
week.
I think we may do a
We do a
Gamescom.
Gamescom
Let's
special,
do a
yeah.
Gamescom special, dude. Let's do a Gamescom special. I love that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
do it. Let's do it. We're going to do a Gamescom special, but yeah, it's going to be good to see what they come up with. Either they've been sandbagging to the point where you could actually protect a small town from floods, or
Right.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, what are we going? It's all kind of. I just have a hard time believing we're gonna see this before CitizenCon at this rate.
Mm.
I mean,
This was really funny.
it
Here's your
was.
delivery, pal.
It's
Have
just
it.
that the amount of bugs. It doesn't look all that polished at all right now, and they saying they want to have
Yeah,
it really polished, like a release polish. I mean, that's like release
I
polish
mean,
is
this video here that you're seeing was pretty impressive. But when
it
the guy
was.
was saying there was like, what was it, like 80 people or something that to get to this level, and this is good. This is impressive, right? You know, the way that the
Right.
NPC is responding is realistic, and the animations look the most realistic I've seen in a game. Yeah, obviously we're not right up close there, but they look believable, don't they? You know?
Yeah, they look very realistic, which is important, But I mean, they obviously they're going for high fidelity, but I think they are missing the beat on like the fact that they don't need it perfect for 3.0. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe other people disagree with me, but they don't need it to be release quality. It's not a release quality game. It's not going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but also I can see where Chris is coming from. I mean, when we come to the next part of this podcast, where we're talking about the actual ATV itself, the fidelity shown in that is mind-boggling. It's amazing. Whereas the stuff that we're seeing in the burn down is raw, but it's great that we're seeing it because we're seeing it raw without any, touch up.
Well, he's also saying like, oh, we're missing when they talk later. They're talking about they couldn't test the UI because it wasn't in yet, and stuff that's not even in yet, and you're like, guys.
I think what they mean is not in the build that they were actually testing on that week.
Yeah,
I think they've had a lot of stuff that they're trying to still merge in. That's how I take it. That there's
which is
things
fine,
which are done.
but
They
I'm
just haven't
like
got it in the build yet.
the idea that it would be out in a couple of weeks and they haven't even got it in testing yet.
Yeah, it does. It is annoying because it means they've obviously been blagging us a little bit. Because if those things are missing, then they were never going to get right. I mean, this obviously shows that there's problems with the merging of the old code to the new branch.
Which is merging code is very, very complicated and very, very time consuming because you constantly get finding these. You try to merge one part and then it just messes up half a dozen other parts. So
yeah, give you a headache.
Yeah, definitely is not pleasant merging code, but it's part of the thing. I mean, Miles is here. Who's got a glass in his hand, literally in it, not in his hand.
It's all positioned in the wrong place. He's not sat at the table. It's all not meshing properly.
The atmospherics are phenomenal looking, aren't they?
It looks like he's got his cockpit in the bar. Which
shadows
is
are great.
Yeah, it does look awesome. The game itself looks like a film. That's how cool this is, and it means that there's going to be so much longevity in what's been created now for future use in extra Squadron 42 or whatever they go forward. They can just use it all again when it's done. It's just the growing pains right now to get it all in place.
I'm tired of growing pains. I want fully fledged walking and running. I'm tired of them.
Not like running on the spot when you jump like we saw last week. But we can't criticize the amount of work they're obviously putting in.
No, they're working really hard.
What we can criticize, I think, is the way that the actual message has been given over to us, and I think an awful lot of other podcasts have echoed what I've just said.
Well, I think one of the guys who's quite a big podcaster of Star Citizen, is it WTF Saurus? I think he says he's not doing any more Star Citizen videos because he's tired of waiting for 3.0.
Yeah, and I also think it's because there's no new content for him to actually show. There's only so much Star Marine in the current build that you can actually show because it's the same as it was last week.
I mean, to me, this bug right here, the one where basically he's saying that it should highlight the whole weapon, but it's not highlighting the whole weapon. That's been in since 2.63 because I've seen that in 2.63 and well, not that particular one, but like I've seen it.
I know what you mean. The way that it actually doesn't highlight the whole thing you're looking at. Yeah. I mean, it's the shopping UI. I think is one of the big blockers they've got right now, and what you've just said and what we've just seen proves that.
I don't think that's a bug with holding back 3.0 for. That's just my opinion because I guess I'm used to alpha build. It's not, to me, it's not supposed to be a release build. It's supposed to be. It's been 9 months, nearly 9 months now since we've had
this bit made me laugh. The doors are trying to escape the constellation.
Yeah, they were treated poorly. They kept getting opened and closed. It was just terrible.
People kept scuffing them on the way through with their boots. No, I mean obviously they explain it afterwards that it's mainly because they're trying to mesh all of their door codes together so that it's one system rather than having loads of different systems. So if it's an airlock, it's got one system, and then if it's in the ship, it's got a different. They're trying to make it all one common system, and they all do different things, which is where this comes from. So it could be a relatively simple fix, but it's kind of good that they showed it to us because it's a pretty embarrassing thing to show.
I think to me those kinds of the animation bugs and it shows to me. I'm not upset about it or worried about it. It's just it shows to me how far they have to go. That's the only thing it concerns me. It's just
exactly
Caterpillar. Do you think we'll get a big surprise? Do you think we'll get a surprise release into like the reclaimer will be added at the last minute, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe they'll say, oh, mining's in for 3.0 and the reclaimer's in too. Although
Right.
it's not a mining ship, but you know what I mean.
I can't wait to see the reclaimer in game.
That thing's huge.
Huge.
Huge. It's absolutely huge. I'd hate to see what the CCU cost would be when that's actually in flight. Yeah, that probably end up going around about $800.
Could that even be killed by a small fighter? Like, cause it seems like, you know what I mean? Like
you could I think the bigger ships can be disabled by a fighter or a number of them. So test squadron could probably take them out with the Auroras, but it wouldn't take them out. It would literally just disable the system. It would take a long time. I don't think you can open up.
It's bigger than the Caterpillar by a long shot.
Yeah,
and
the thing is, all of the core stuff that would have to go. Well, let's go nuclear. Why not? It's a popular phrase in the press at the moment. It would be buried inside. You'd have to have a weapon that could puncture through the hull to get to it to make it blow up.
Yeah.
Or have torpedoes, which of course
torpedoes. Yeah, I think that's the only thing that really should be destroying those massive ships. I mean, a laser gun shot to the part of it is not going to destroy a ship like an Idris or a Polaris.
A couple of eclipses firing all of their torpedoes might take one out because obviously they're size 9s, but you'd still have to escort them there.
Man,
and you'd be a muppet not having your reclaimer escorted by combat ships anyway, wouldn't you?
You would be really. You'd be asking for trouble, really. But
taking a big target on your head.
Yeah, well, that could be bait. You could use the reclaimer as bait.
Yeah, could do. That'd be hell of a. You'd have to be pretty confident you could actually fight people off, though, wouldn't you?
Does the reclaimer have any snub fighters or anything? It doesn't, does it?
No, it's an industrial ship.
You could have industrial snubs.
It's got drones.
You could have Argo.
I suppose if you stood still, they could probably reclaim you to death.
Crush you with the claw.
Yeah, grab all of you. Exactly. Yeah, they were showing here on this bit of video about the copy build 3, which is the. Which is
actually going to be the Delta Patcher, I think.
What the Delta Patcher comes from, and that. Yeah. How quickly how much quicker they can get builds delivered to them when they're trying to dev something new, which is going to speed things up.
They keep mentioning the Delta Patcher, but then they don't mention it again for a while, so I'm always get worried about it. It's like
it's almost like a buzzword now, isn't it? Delta Patcher.
The Delta Patcher's coming.
It's coming.
It's sort of like they mention it's coming soon. It's coming soon, and they don't mention it again for a month. And then it's coming soon. It's coming soon. Don't mention it again for a month.
It's like a Game of Thrones reference, isn't it? Patcher is coming.
Yes. Winter is here. The Patcher is here.
Yeah, you get that tonight, don't you? I've got to wait till tomorrow night to watch it.
Yeah, well, there's already stuff on the internet for episode 6, dude.
Yeah, I stay away from spoilers, man. I've barely checked my Facebook since I found out that it was leaked because I just don't want to get spoiled by it. It's such a good series so far.
Yeah,
but I digress, as I like to do.
As you do. I think it's already out right now here, or is it it'll be out in an hour?
Yeah, it won't be long.
It's a good show, that is.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Anyway, I think he's coming to the end of his little burn down segment, and
I think he says here that there were 2054 code updates checked in this week, which is a lot of updates. Obviously, some people might say, well, they didn't say they were unique check-ins, but that's a lot of changes. So it just goes to show that they are working as hard as anybody could expect them to get it dealt with and get it out there.
Yeah, I think I'm really curious to see how. I mean, we'll find out on Gamescom exactly how many people they've added or how many they have employees now in terms. And it'll be over 400 by a long shot, I think. But I'm definitely curious to see how big a team they have now, because I get when the bigger the team that gets, the more they can do. So I don't mind them hiring more people. People complain that they're going to go bankrupt because of it, but I don't see that problem.
I can't see it happening. We've given them 160 something million now. I haven't looked at the last count.
I think it's 100. I don't think it's 160 quite yet. It's like 150.
It's not far off.
Late 50s, I think.
It's a fair road wedge, and obviously creating the offices does cost a bit, and obviously paying the developers their money is going to cost money for pay the employees. But I don't think they're close to running dry yet, unless they've been criminally ridiculous with the money.
Yeah,
they haven't been.
No. So.
Yeah, this is the bit I was talking about earlier on, where it looks really impressive.
It does look really impressive, really, really impressive. Like almost too good. Like, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna. That's Delmar, I think, or Daymar. That's Daymar. That one.
They've aced it. It does look amazing.
The interiors look good, but I really worry that like in No Man's Sky, I've been playing that recently, just to kill the time, and I wanted a space game. And I mean, the Outposts are great in that game, but they don't really do much. There's nothing in them really to do. You just kind of go in, you click the thing that you want from them, and then you move on. I really hope that they're going to sort of make them more worth going to, as opposed to just like something to see.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, I expect they'll probably allow us to create our own, which is where why there's so much detail in it. But at least it's going to be good for us to look in there. There'll be lots of different variations. I mean, you're looking at the drugs lab there, which is quite well done. Although I don't know if they'd use those sort of stands in the 29 somethings. I thought they'd come up with something a bit better than that. But it does look.
Still using dollies out there, not electronic dollies.
It looks lived in. That's what I like about it.
No, it does. Their art style's phenomenal in terms of interior and exterior, and I mean, super good. But yeah, I mean, I'm super impressed with the Outposts. I think that I don't think we necessarily needed another episode of ATV about the Outposts, but
I think they needed to push out something that showed just how good a pretty much finished part of 3.0 can look, because there's been an awful lot of negativity flowing about because of, in fairness, nicely well done to CIG for showing it all raw in the burn down. So I don't think we were expecting to see it, because some of the comments by the employees were pretty negative in the burn down this week. They didn't seem particularly confident either.
They're probably really tired.
They're tired, but obviously that sort of thing you would expect to be edited out, but they left it in there, which is good. And seeing this, which is obviously, an almost finished portion of 3.0. I mean, this bit here looks awesome.
That's selling right there. I mean, he did mention, I think at this point, it was, or was it further on? But basically, like he put a outpost one place, and then he would move it, and then, find another better place, and then he would have to move it again later or something like that because he found a better place. But the moons rotate. I mean, technically they don't really, because they're tidally locked, I think, in this game. So I don't know if you guys all know what tidally locked means, but basically the moon,
like our moon,
basically, it's always facing us in the same. It's basically gravitational forces of friction stopped our reduced our moon's rotation down to our speed, so it rotates at the same speed as us. So therefore, we only see one side of it, basically. That's why there's something called the dark side of the moon, which we never see.
See, you watch our podcast, you get learned.
You get learned.
Get learned. get your science on, yo. But yeah, no, it's. But I don't think all of them are going to be tidally locked, but at least one of them will be, because they did talk about rotation later on.
They did, because they're going to have rotation in. So if they have rotation in, most moons are tidally locked. Just because of the gravitational friction, basically, between the big planet and the small moon. So I think it's like nearly all major moons in our solar system are tidally locked. So I'm assuming they will be here too, which to me makes it seem like the position you put them in is kind of. You will always get this in a tidally locked situation. Eventually, you will always get this exact scene at some point.
I think when they said they were moving it around, they were moving it because of the actual geography of the moon.
But he said because of the scenery too. Like I think the background was quite an important factor. I mean, like the background is going to change. The background's
Yeah, he
going to
said,
change at some point because it's on a moon and it's rotating. It's a solar system. The moon never looks like it's hard to find it in the same place in the sky for us as it. You know what I mean? So I don't think they need to concentrate so
no,
much on the positioning
like,
based on the constellations and stuff.
yeah, they were talking about pacing it somewhere nice, so they got the actual gas giant in the background, and that's not always going to be there, so it's a bit pointless.
Yeah, it's going to change. So
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, they look cool regardless of what's in the
they
sky.
look phenomenal. I'm so impressed with how good the outposts look. I mean, and especially if they make it really easily for us to make them, to make them super customizable. Like No Man's Sky has a really customizable system where you can do a lot of stuff with outposts, like cuboid rooms, circular dome rooms, corner rooms, basically like rounded corner rooms. Tons of stuff you can fiddle with, which I've been playing with, and it's quite fun. And I really hope that they can give a sort of largely customizable system for us to play with.
Yeah, I just like the fact that they're creating a number of what do they call them, sets. So a load of different buildings, and they're all in the same place. They can plonk them in different places, but they're also going to be doing it procedurally as well, so that it won't always look the same. I mean, this one here, I think, was the one that looked the best out of all of it.
I don't think that's.
I just like the dust in the background. It looks like it's taken on a film set, almost.
I think this is either Daymar or not. What's the other one? Daymar, Salin, and Yala. No, this is not Yala because Yala doesn't have an atmosphere, I don't think. So this must be Daymar.
I think you're right.
I think the only one that has an atmosphere is Daymar. So.
And the good thing about that is there's no ships in that, so you don't actually see the scale of the buildings. But if you look closely enough, you can actually see obviously how big the windows are, and you can see from the inside shots just how big these outpost blocks are. And then you've got some of the meshing there, so you can see how the parts of the outposts actually conform to the terrain.
Mm-hmm. And I love the wear and tear slider and the dust factor, and they really did a phenomenal job in terms of like making it easily customizable for a designer, and like you can just put a bit of dirt on this one and put up.
Looks like, I mean, that one there looks like it's been there for years, doesn't it?
Yeah,
especially when it gets to the end. It's impressive.
It is super impressive. I'm always very impressed by their tech. The tech is getting to be really, really, really flexible.
Yeah, the actual art design on the different manufacturers and the way they change the colors subtly depending on who owns it, it's nicely done too.
Mm-hmm. Riari.
I think that'd be a science core or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Where are we at? What time is it? There we go. It's 18:50. Okay. Yeah, basically just they're going to be talking for a while now, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good ATV to watch if you haven't seen it yet, the people watching this podcast, because it is informative, but it also gives you a fair bit of confidence that if the outposts have been done to this level, and you can kind of take it that the project manager is going to expect the same quality around all of the other features, then when we do finally get the release version of Star Citizen and Squadron 42 in whenever that is, be it 2018 or 2019, or some people even think it might be 2020, it's going to be something that we haven't seen before. It's still going to be ahead of its time, no matter how, as long as it doesn't take 10 years, obviously. But it's really.
One thing I gotta say, at Gamescom, Chris better not come out, give an example of 4.0 and say it'll be out by Christmas.
Yeah, I think giving dates has obviously been quite useful, but we can tell that they just haven't been able to keep those dates. So there's no point in giving dates. They should do is give Q1
soon
something.
trademark.
So at least they've got 3 months to actually to get it out, rather than saying it'll be out by 13th of September or something. I'd rather them have a 3 month, the whole quarter.
Or even half a year. Well, that'd probably be more realistic.
Yeah,
second half of 2018.
Exactly. But I mean, if they continue with the burn down format, at least then they don't really need to give us dates, because we can see how much progress they've made. Maybe it's something that's here to stay. and
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind, to be honest. It's
Although
refreshing.
the bugs on a sort of development branch, when they're not really going to be releasing it anytime soon, it's kind of irrelevant, really. I think burn
Yeah,
down's useful when they're just about to release something, which hopefully will pick up in speed in the next, like 3.1, 3.2, that kind of thing. But I don't see the point in doing it to, burn down's going to go away and they go back to doing the old style. I think.
yeah. I think 3.0 is going to be the most difficult task that CIG have
I think they'll be cresting the
attempted.
cresting the hill. I think for
Yeah.
3.0 basically.
Once they've got all the systems in, they're all working. They've ironed out all the bugs throughout the Evocati and the PTU Pros phase. It goes live, and then with the Delta patcher, everything should start coming quicker because the keystones are there, which is all the systems they're trying to integrate right now.
Yeah. Well, make some good points there. Well, let's just skip this a little bit. Oh, that's a pretty shot.
Yeah.
And another nice. I really hope that they make like the beds usable and you can use the beds in Outposts to like log out, because I think that's how they're doing it right now. In 3.0 is where whatever bed you sleep in, you log out in that exact same, log back in that same spot. I really hope that the Outposts could be used for that sort of thing, because
It'd be great for extreme explorers, wouldn't it? Because I could drop you on a planet with your dragonfly, and then bugger off and do my own thing. You don't have a ship there. All you've got is your equipment that you're wearing in your dragonfly, and you could explore, and then you could just call me to come and pick you up when you're bored or you need a sandwich or something.
Right.
If they put eating and drinking,
I think they are going to put eating. Maybe not this patch, but I think eating and drinking will be coming. I think. I don't know if I like that, because
I think it's a little bit too survival gamey.
Yeah, I mean, No Man's Sky has some issues in the fact that like it's ridiculous to like survive. You got to mine so much stuff. Like, it's like, really, I need like 17 million thallium just to like survive for like an hour, But
yeah, I started again the other day, and I'm finding it difficult to try and find the base stuff just to fix my bloody engines, because I can't find anything with this particular that gives me that particular element. And I've gone around, and now
what element are you talking about?
I can't remember which one it is now.
Plutonium, thallium, those are the big ones.
It's the isotopes I'm trying to find, because I'm dying because I haven't got enough isotopes.
Yeah, you want to look for the planets, basically. You can also use plutonium plus carbon. If you're 100 plutonium and carbon, will give you a power gel, which will enable you to recharge your life support.
It's a tip. See, look at that. That looks awesome. You see the dust in the background of that shot?
I know. Looks phenomenal.
It's really cool.
And I did a permadeath. I'm planning to do a permadeath playthrough on No Man's Sky. So,
yeah, you're a brave man.
I've actually gone pretty far, actually. So I'm pretty pleased so far. I've built a base. It's got everything. I got like a farm going, like a warehouse with plants growing in it. So
yeah, it's not as bad as people think.
It's better than it used to be.
Especially with the other patches, and it gives you something
to be honest,
something to some of you to spend your time on if you're not the biggest fan of Elite Dangerous. I've taken the Elite Dangerous side of it, and you do the No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
potatoes.
Yeah, I just prefer the I don't know. No Man Elite Dangerous. I can't get out of my. I can't get past that. I can't get out of my plane, my ship. That's why I just can't get past that fact.
There's no space legs.
There's no space legs. Yeah, I just can't get past that.
You can get out of your ship, but either in a fighter or a rover.
That's not getting out of your ship. That's just moving to
walk.
Another ship.
Yeah. It's an issue, but we might be waiting a year or more for that to happen.
I think he'll be waiting a lot longer than that. But yeah, which is fine. If Elite Dangerous doesn't go that way, like Eve, and I will never play Eve because you can't get out of your ship, and to me, it's immersion breaking. So
that's one of the reasons why we anteed up on Star Citizen in the first place, because it's first person.
Yeah, and I've always wanted a first person game where I can get out of my ship, fly down to a planet, get out, explore, mine, kill people. I don't know, whatever I happen to be into at that specific moment, and to me, that's why Star Citizen is the only game for me at the moment. So
I think Gamescom's going to be interesting. I don't know what exactly we're going to see, but but it is going to be interesting.
I
Anyway,
think
let's finish off this ATV chat before we talk about the other
Well,
stuff.
it's just cargo boxes. I mean, it's just eye
Yeah,
candy
yeah.
right now. It's just
I'm
very
just looking
little.
to see whether we missed anything. I
Not
don't think
really,
so.
not really, mate. I think but they're talking about the styles for the specific outposts like
Yeah.
Rayari and some, and, you know.
I do like the branding on some of those. It's really well done. You could actually take that and put it out in the world, and a company would be happy to have that as their company logo. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
it's really well done.
There's super impressive. That's all I have to say. It's just I'm very impressed with the. See, this is what I'm talking about with the parts of like No Man's Sky has this sort of thing where you put a side of the wall on and you put another side of the wall on and you put another, you know what I mean? And that's the kind of thing I really hope they sort of allow us to mess with in when we get to build our own outposts, because that would mean super customizable, cool looking things. You know, these, you know, I don't know if you ever played a game called Landmark, which is sort of like Minecraft but for EverQuest.
They've abandoned it, haven't they?
They have, yeah, but it was really
I did
fun.
I had a bash with it, and I did kind of enjoy it, but
It was a fun builder. It was a fun builder. I enjoyed it for a little while, and then I got bored of it because that's all I was doing was building. There's nothing else to do. There was no monsters in it or anything like that. It was just build, sort of like Minecraft, but a little bit more adult like.
yeah, exactly. Then at the end of the day, the modular system's in the outposts are built from components, so there's no
Right.
reason they wouldn't expose that to us.
Hopefully,
To build. I don't think they'll allow us to literally just be there with a multi-tool going, I want to put that there. You might actually have to use a kiosk to say, I want to build this base building and stick it there. Then you have to use another one to expand it. I don't think you'll be able to actually build it, but they might surprise us.
yeah. I don't know. That's pretty. That's
Yes.
I think that's yellow. I think that's yellow.
Yeah, it's awesome. You see the shooting star in the background then, right at the end.
Yeah.
Again, the details is phenomenal. They just need to let us play it now rather than show it to us, because Gamescom's going to be to attract new backers, right? Citizens Con is
What's to attract new backers at the moment, though?
well, that's the thing. They're going to be showing something that they haven't seen before, make it glitzy, make it look cool. Say, this is going to be available to play 3.0 very soon, blah blah blah, and then they're not. It's not going
very
to.
soon.
Yeah, but it's not going to be for you and me because we know what's going on. We're basically neck deep in the development of this game because we do this every week, and it's not. We're obviously watching videos, making notes. Playing the game every now and then, comparing it with others and all the rest of it. So we know what's going on. But the general public, they want to try and get more backers, which equals more money, which equals faster development. So I'm not expecting to see something which is targeted specifically at us. I'm just expecting to see something that looks cool and basically revitalizes the backers to say, yeah, all right, that looks awesome. We haven't seen that before. Let's see what happens.
I'm sort of coming to the point where I'm like, you guys, they're going to be releasing the 600i. I think that's my guess for the new ship at the end of the month.
Have you seen? I mean, they haven't confirmed in the forums what the ship is.
No, but
there's two different versions. $400 is the entry level one. $425 is the whatever
be the 600.
second edition. Yeah, but that's more expensive than the Constellation.
It's
and the
bigger than the
600i is
Constellation.
supposed to be the same as the Connie.
Well, I think yeah, but it's a luxury. Isn't Origin luxury?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's more expensive even than the Phoenix was.
Still,
I just hope
like
we're
the
not seeing a
Constellation.
creep.
I
Yeah,
like
I just hope that we're
Constellation.
not seeing
If you mean price
creep upwards. Yes, for the same sort of ship, because that isn't on. It's the same. You're still buying a digital ship.
I mean, the alien ships are more expensive.
Yeah, but that's because they're alien.
Well, they could use the same thing. Oh, this is a luxury brand. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
like
why
Porsche and
would
BMW? Luxury.
but why would the
brands.
Phoenix still cost less than the 600i?
It's
Unless
RSI is not a luxury brand.
yeah, but again, I don't agree with that. I get where you're coming from. I do get it. Origin is supposed to be BMW in space, right?
Right.
But
Literally, it is. They quoted as saying it is BMW in space.
yeah, exactly. But when you look at the when they originally put the Phoenix out there, it was supposed to be the best of everything from the best manufacturers they could get the stuff from, right?
Well, RSI is more like VW than you know what I mean. It's like good. It's
The VW have luxury brands.
They
too.
do. I mean, they own Porsche, so yeah.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. Porsche. It's not Porsche.
Porsche, whatever.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, it's probably the Phoenix is almost certainly going to be considered to be upgraded from if it looks amazing. Because I don't know, man. I just hope they don't put this stupid bloody hot tub in the redo of the Phoenix.
I'm not actually buying any more ships until we actually get 3.0. I think. I'm
No,
sticking
I
with-
know it'll be a CCU using credit I've got. I'm not putting any more money in the game. I've already done enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I might buy a Saber or swap a Saber, a Buccaneer for a Saber at the Gamescom if they do it, or CitizenCon, which is more likely. But I don't. I don't know. I prefer the Saber to the Buccaneer. It's
It'll
just
be
me.
interesting to see what they do with the resales for Gamescom. So obviously we know that there's a concept ship coming up. We know how much it is. We kind of know what it is, the 600 series. But whether they'll actually do a wider sale, for Gamescom.
Yeah, I think they have an issue with like to get new backers. You know, everyone's saying they're trying to attract new people for 3.0, but they haven't got 3.0. So they're trying to
So
attract
unless they're going to surprise us all and say surprise, it's going to the PTU after this week,
right. Maybe. 'Cause I think that's really kind of
because that would be a really big announcement to make.
that
On the
would be
floor.
a big announcement, but I don't see it happening. That would be a bit of a if they're talking about polish. Um, Maybe the PTU, maybe they skip Evocati, go straight to PTU because they've kind of like they're doing stuff that the Evocati people would be doing normally.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the way that Elite Dangerous is doing the 2.4 patch, right? The 2.4 beta is out at the moment, which I can't test because I didn't pay the money back in the day to get
What
it.
is it? What's it got in it? Is it anything interesting?
Well, 2.4's got a load of changes to the UI, but when it goes live, there's a whole shitload of new content about the Thargoid invasion,
Mm-hmm.
right? But none of that is in in the beta patch. They've left that out.
Right.
So they could still send the stuff that's not finished yet to the PTU, and then if the PTU has the Delta patch, they could just add in the stuff and iterate on the build to us once they finished bits. They could do it that way.
Do you think that they've delayed 2.0 for the Delta patcher because they don't want to have to pay like the bandwidth costs of like people going crazy and downloading it, or do and it's like, oh, a Delta patcher will reduce bandwidth costs, so.
I don't know if bandwidth costs is a major issue. They've never mentioned it that I'm aware of, but I'd hope that the content delivery is probably going to be done via Amazon now, I'd have thought. And it'll be part of their agreement with Amazon and the lumberyard to provide some sort of bandwidth.
Yeah, I mean, they probably have
I
some
wouldn't have
sort
thought
of
that'd
bandwidth
be an
deal.
issue.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But, it could be that they've been wanting to make sure that Copy Build 3 works internally, which they can then, hybridize on to make the Delta patcher, which will then allow all of us to get hold of the PTU version of 3.0 in little bits as they iterate pieces onto it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do like oh, this month we're going to release this ship. Or I think they'll still release in like major clumps, like
Oh yeah, you'll get most of it, I would have thought. So you get all the ships that are flyable because they've already done them. Why would they hold them back? It's just the bits they got problems with, like shopping. They might disable the shops whilst they're trying to fix the problems there, for example.
yeah, maybe. I think
So I don't think anyone will care about shopping if they can fly down to Delmar and then fly back up again.
at least for a week or two.
Yeah, exactly. I think people will be happy.
I think they're going to release it all. It's all going to have to be perfect because Chris seems like he's like in a perfection mode at the moment. So.
Well, I mean, this is very much the pinnacle of everything he's ever done digitally.
Yeah.
I think this is the he's
is
trying
his-
to deliver on his life's work.
Yes, basically.
So I can see why he wants it to be amazing.
Yeah.
He doesn't. More importantly, he doesn't want it to look shit when it actually gets out there, because 3.0 has all of the underpinnings of what the actual PU will be when it's released. And if it looks shit in when it comes out to the alpha, it's not going to look good for people who are sitting on the fence.
Yeah, I'm with you. So let's go over the projects. What do they call it? Production schedule. Couldn't think of the
Let's
word
do it.
there. Okay. Oh, shoot. Wrong one. There it is. So, yeah, usual stuff, same stuff. Basically, let's move this in a bit. Is that better? Can you guys see that now? I think so.
Yeah, I can see it.
We're still working hard on 3.0, and there's so many bugs, and they explain how branching works, sort of. It doesn't really explain it so well, although it's kind of hard to explain. Um, but yeah, basically the branches, the development branch is now 3.0, so like everything they're doing is on 3.0 is I think it's finalized basically feature wise now that they've split, they branched it. So
So
it's
feature complete in other
feature
parlance.
no more feature creep like locked doors and blow off the doors, which
Yeah.
was a bit of feature creep that they did in sort of July, August, because it wasn't originally going to be in 3.0, and then they just kind of sprung it on us and like, oh, we're going to add doors and locked doors, and I mean it was an important feature, but it's definitely feature creep.
Yeah, the breaching is the most recent thing they told us that they were
Yeah,
adding in. We knew that they were going to be putting locking of ships in, but
but that was an additional thing too. That was an additional thing
yeah,
that they creeped in.
yeah, they must have been confident that it wouldn't have taken them hardly any extra time, or if the people they had a breakthrough in development and thought, oh, it's done, so we'll just stick it in there.
Right. Yeah. So right here we have 12 blockers still, which is exactly what we got the first time they did this, by the way. But it's obviously been up and down, up and down, up and down. Um, if you look at that, if that linear curve is kind of a pointless thing, because if you look at the linear curve, it'll be done in 9 months' time to zero. If you go on a linear basis, because that only the bottom of the thing only goes to 65. So if you go to zero,
Yeah,
it'll be done.
it looks cool.
But it's pointless because
Yeah, I know it's pointless, right? But if somebody just casually looking at it, it represents that they go in the right way,
but like that, yeah,
and that's
linear.
what they want to achieve to represent it in the right light.
Well, yeah, okay, but it's a bit of bullshit. Sorry, my
Yeah,
language.
no, you're right. That's precisely what it is, and that's why it's there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so yeah, it looks like I don't like this must fix priority for like these and all these things. Like I said before, I'll say it again. I don't understand why moderates must fix priority before release. That doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah.
Maybe they should just add "fucked" at the end of it, so it's moderate.
There should
Fuck.
be it should be 77 blockers.
Yeah, to be honest with you, you're right. Maybe adding those additional. Oh my god, my brain's not working tonight. Adding those headings, if you like, they could just say the 77 issues have to be fixed, and that'd be it.
Yeah.
It's added complexity we don't really need because it doesn't
No,
help us.
it doesn't help us. It doesn't help anyone who's not particularly good at, or who's not no interest in coding. It doesn't really help. You know what I mean? It's like there's 77 bugs. They all have to be fixed, so they're all blocking the release of the game. I mean, maybe it's just their internal sort of labeling structure, like so that people will be like, oh, I feel like dealing with a high one today. I don't feel like really complicated bug. I don't know.
And they're not showing us how many trivials they've got either, which is another label which they have said that
Yeah.
they use. Said they do.
And there's probably like 7,000 trivial. Or something.
Yeah, maybe the trivials don't really count.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So,
But there's quite a few fixed there, which down that list.
No, they did. You actually had it in your little. How many is it? 56 issues they fixed it in?
54 issues were resolved and 46 were added. Although it did say leaving us with 88, but that could just be my bad maths because I wrote this at silly o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
77, isn't it?
I like that your bad maths last week couldn't add up to 90, but that one does.
Shut up.
Improvement of our overall frame rate. Yeah, well, that was from last week. Same thing. Cockpit experience, space, ship security, rotating and orbiting planets are in as well. So yeah, basically they're just race tracks on planets. So basically they're progressing at I'd say they're doing 10 bugs. The reduction is 10 at the moment. 10 bugs per week, per 2 weeks. So
I think we just got to hope for a breakthrough.
I think it'll start to like, because I've had that when I've been coding, and I'm constantly finding new bugs and then I get to a point and I just hit this one bug and then it just clears, the smoke clears, you know what I mean, and just goes like, oh, I can't find a bug. I got to really hard test it to find a bug, and then then I find that bug and then I really have to hard, so it's like once you get to that sort of past those major bugs which are coming in at you like all the time, it can be a little more difficult to find them. But
Because some of the major bugs could be causing some of the others.
Yeah.
They just don't know that until they fix the major ones and the others go away.
exactly, yeah, there could be small bugs, big bugs that big fixes that fix small things, and the other way around too. Small fixes that fix big things. So
They just need to call Johnny Rico in. He'll squash those bugs.
yes,
That's a film reference, everybody.
yes.
He's been doing that on his XCOM videos, so I was just showing
Yeah.
off.
What Johnny Vico is that from? Is that Men in Black?
No, Starship Troopers, dude.
Johnny Vico.
He was the.
That's right.
He's the one who took over the Roughnecks.
Yeah, right. Starship Troopers. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
You need to watch it. It's great. I watched it the other week, just because it was. I found it on my YouTube feed of now how to watch, and it was just like Starship Troopers full video. I was like, no, can't be, and it was. I was like, oh, I'll just watch it in the background whilst I'm working on other stuff.
Classic.
Yeah, good film.
So yeah, I think that's about it. Really, there's not a whole lot in the production schedule. I mean, I could go through some of the stuff, but basically, this is something new. I've not seen that before. So they added another feature, sort of, or improved lighting, or something they have to do, an additional, not feature creep per se, but initial polish of the improved lighting for fog tech. But their fog tech is pretty amazing. Like some of their like clouds and the other
they've obviously mashed this into the build over the last week and found that they need to do some more polish to get it to work with the other systems, same as most of these other bugs that we're seeing.
So all these are done. It definitely, I understand that, because when you add a new thing to something, it can screw up the lighting of other things. And then the entity owner manager here is now done completely, which is a big one. Actually, that was taking a while. That was like constantly delayed, every 2 seconds, that one. So other than that, and then the UI, we got the character. I don't think character customization is going to be getting in. It's been delayed, and
I don't think they need it.
I don't think they need it either. To be honest, I don't even think they need the vehicle customization thing.
We've been playing as random white boy forever, so I can't see why we can't just do the same thing until they've got the character creator in working properly.
And the ship selector and app and insurance claim, apparently they need added polish, which is fine. Polish is fine. You can do that while you're testing. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're adding.
I think we'd all be happy if we just flew about in bloody Auroras until they fixed the app for ship selectors.
Yeah, I would too. But that's just me. I'm a little strange. I'd be happy. So
because it's an alpha, you want to test it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everything else is done. Everything else is done. Even the Aurora's done. I mean, I think we'll see another ship. I think they'll add another ship and go back up now. I think they'll add another ship before the end, before 3.0 comes out, just to sort of like be like, sorry, we made we took so long, but here we go. Here's an extra little bit of tantalizing meat to dangle in front of you.
Yeah, put the Phoenix in.
Yeah, they're working on that, aren't they? That's right.
Yeah, exactly. It's not scheduled to be finished for ages, but no, actually, was it 3.1 for the Phoenix?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, I obsess too much about that ship. I just hope
you do. You mentioned it all the time. I was like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'm not as big a fan of the Constellation as you are, but.
Well, I flew the Loner, which is the Andromeda, on my own, granted, and it was awful on your own. Because obviously you got nobody on the turrets because they don't slave to the pilot when there's nobody in them.
Right.
It's obviously quite slow. It's got a bucket load of missiles, but I'm sure when they got people in the crewing the turrets, it'll be a lot more fun, especially if somebody's out there in the Merlin or the Archimedes, depending on what ship you've got. That could be good fun. And apparently you'll be able to launch and redock your snub fighters in the constellations in 3.0, which would actually be pretty cool.
I don't think so. Come on now.
They said that.
Come on now. Don't you take kidding me, you kidder. No.
Well, Redacted said that they were going to. So, yeah. I don't know where they got it from, but yeah. They got more subscribers than we do, so I just have to believe them.
They have tons more subscribers than we do.
Shut up. Oh,
Shut up! Shut up!
We'll
Shut
get there one
up!
day.
Shut up!
We just have to do a lot more of these than one a week if we wanted to have that many people.
Well,
And
I think when 3.0 comes
we've
out,
got work to
I'll
do.
be doing more podcasts of Star Citizen, like probably all the time. So, once I start doing more content, they'll people will come. You build it, people will come.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
We will be doing more of this sort of stuff when there's more things to do.
yeah,
But
right
he's
now
got a lot more time on his hands than I do, so
I
you'll see
do.
more of it
Yeah,
than me.
yeah. I'm more flexible. So
Yeah.
anyway, I think we're done.
So, what do you think we're going to see in Gamescom? What's your opinion?
Um, I think we'll probably see jump point example, probably, or procedural cities. I think those are the most likely ones.
And that's it.
Um, yeah, I don't see what I mean.
The biggest reveal ever is going to be a jump point and procedural cities.
Yeah, yeah, I think that'll be it. I think I don't think you'll see Squadron. I'm sorry to say.
No, no, but well, see, that would be a pretty good reveal, though, wouldn't it?
It would be a good reveal, but it's not going to happen. Come on now. The
Like,
Squadron is
imagine if they showed us like the intro of Squadron
Didn't
42.
they do that with Morotor?
Yeah, that kind of wasn't really. They just did that to show off. The actual canned intro scene of Squadron.
Nah.
That's pretty cool.
I just don't see Squadron coming out even in, I think, maybe late 2018, maybe mid 2019. I think that's where I'm.
I guess it depends on how much the systems that we haven't seen yet are used
But we know
heavily in the
Squadron is using heavily in terms of the what there's a lot of stuff overlap between the PU and Squadron, and they haven't done a lot of the stuff in PU. So like door locks and airlocks, those things are going to be in Squadron.
Oh yeah, sure. Say for example, like your very first mission in Squadron 42 is literally just to find your way around the Idris and go and talk to a few people, and then maybe do one patrol, a cap, combat air patrol around the Idris, and then land again. Those sort of things they could probably do with what we've already got.
Yeah, maybe if they're not next to a planet and you don't have to go down to a planet. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I've been racking my brains to think what is this big reveal, and we've seen so much in ATV that it wouldn't really be a reveal. We know we're going to be able to
Procedural
land.
planets, procedural city tech would be pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah,
And
that would be genuinely new, definitely.
and also forests, proper jungles and forests. That would be pretty interesting too.
A planet with a proper, believable atmosphere with water and
Jungle and
jungle and actual flora and fauna. So
Yeah.
animals
Yeah.
and.
that would be impressive too. So
We'll see. We haven't got long to wait now.
no, about a week. It's 4 days, 5 days.
Exactly. And if it's boring, we still got the XCOM 2 expansion this week too, isn't it?
29th, so 9 days.
Oh, it's not this week. Oh well, soon. That should be interesting.
Yeah, I'll be doing videos on that at the moment it comes out. So I'll probably do. I'm not going to do an Iron Man pass. I think first time I'm going to do a Bronze Man, which is, I don't know if anyone knows what a Bronze Man is. Basically, Bronze Man is you're allowed to restart the mission from the beginning of the mission. That's basically how Bronze Man works.
Yeah, I need to go back and start again on the one up from Medium, because it's been so long since I played it. I tried trying to emulate what you do, and I just get my ass handed to me too much. So I'm gonna have to start again and learn the system again. I think
It takes time.
Good game.
I played a lot of XCOM. I played 2,000 hours on Steam of XCOM 1 and 1,000 hours of XCOM 2. So
yeah, he plays it a lot more than me. But anyway,
that's how you get
this
good
week,
at things, dude.
yeah, this week is going to be very interesting for Star Citizen. I'd
Will
be
be.
interested to see what happens, and then next Saturday we'll do a Gamescom special and sit and dissect what we were shown, and any other exciting news we've actually come across in Star Citizen in the next 7 days.
What he said. So thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to our channel. We would appreciate it. We're trying to get our channel name. I know it's going to take a while at this rate, but when we do more content, hopefully the speed of subscribing will increase. And yeah, that's all. Leave your comments in the video if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
See you next week. Take it easy.